Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to learn CSS selectors. Now, whenever beginners start with CSS, the biggest confusion is not about the properties like colors, fonts and padding. The real confusion is which element should I target? And that is exactly where the CSS selectors comes into picture. So in this video, first we will understand the concepts using this PPT, and then we'll build a small real world project. So let's begin. So what are CSS selectors? A CSS selector is used to select the HTML element that we want to style or upon which we want to apply the styling. So CSS needs selectors to connect with the HTML elements. Selectors acts like an address for the elements. So basically, if I want to style a particular element, then I'm supposed to use the CSS selectors. So you can see the syntax here, the selectors and declaration block here. So a selector is nothing but an element here, that is the paragraph element, and the declaration block has the property value pairs. These property value pairs are basically used for styling the CSS element. So in this particular example of the syntax, I have the property as a color and the value as red, and the property as border and the value as 1 pixel solid red. So these are the stylings applied to the paragraph element, that is the selector. Now let's quickly understand the different types of selectors. So there are different types of selectors in CSS selectors, that is the element selector, ID selector, class selector, grouping selector and universal selector. Now let's see each one of it in detail. So the first one is the element selector. So the basic and the simple way of selecting the element and giving the style is using the element selectors. It selects all the elements of the given name. So what is the syntax here is that I need to write the element name and then followed by the property and value within the curly brackets as per the syntax of the cascading style sheet. Example here is that I want to style this paragraph. This text is brown, and I'm just going to style this paragraph. So I'm just specifying the element, that is P, that I want to style is color :blue. That is the property. The next type of selector that we have here is the class selector. So it selects the element with a specific class name. So basically, class selectors are used when multiple elements need the same styling. So you can see here that I have created a div tag, that is a division section, and here I have given the class name as card. So no matter how many number of times I create this particular section or the different section with the same class name card, I can use just this class name with a dot operator and I can give the same styling. So all the div tags, all the div elements can be styled the same way using the CSS class selector. Next, we are going to see about the ID selector. So ID selector selects one element with a unique ID. Let's say I want to give a specific styling uniquely to a specific element. I don't want the same styling for other elements, so I can give the ID name. Just like I'm referring to the student in the class with their ID, no matter if their names are exactly same, I'm going to refer it with their ID. So ID is something that uniquely identifies a person. The same applies here. So ID is used for uniquely identify a particular section and element for styling. So here the syntax looks like hash ID name. So here we have to use the operator hash, and we are supposed to specify the property and value. Okay, so the ID value is equals to title here, and we are going to specify hash title color :orange. Now we have the universal selector. In the universal selector, it selects all HTML elements on the page. So let's say I want to apply a specific font throughout my entire web page. Okay, so it should be throughout the entire web page. So I can use the universal selector. I don't have to select a specific section or an element and give the styling. This is for the entire web page. That is For this, we use a universal selector, that is a asterisk operator. So we use dot asterisk. Now we have the group selectors. In the group selectors, it selects multiple elements at once. So we can specify this group selectors like this: element 1, element 2, okay, and multiple elements can be selected all at once, and multiple elements can be given the same styling. So these are the CSS selectors summary that you can see on the right side. Element is just a paragraph and selects all the paragraphs. Class is just a dot card we have seen that selects the elements with the class. ID with hash title, element with ID. Universal selector uses the asterisk and it selects all the elements, that is, it is applicable throughout the entire web page. Group is, in this example, we have selected h1 and paragraph, like same styling is given to multiple elements, that is header 1 and the paragraph. So now let's move ahead with the practical hands-on part. So for CSS selectors, we are going to start off with the hands-on practice, and this is what we are going to create. So this is a desired result that we have, and we are going to create the exactly same thing. Now I have already created a file for it. Let's start coding with it. As you can see, this is a heading and a paragraph, and we have a section here, that is a div tag, which is an element that is used to create a section. And if you see here, this is a header section, this is our main section, and I'm just going to go inside and start writing with the code. So HTML, I need to write the head. Inside the head I have the title. Inside the title, let me keep the title as coffee menu, and here let's keep the internal styling. So let me create a section for this internal CSS, and let me come to the line number 7 and let me type body section, body and element. And now what we need to understand here is that we have to create a header section. So in the header section we have coffee house menu and fresh coffee warm moments. So this is what we are going to do. So we have the section header, and inside the header section we have h1. Inside the h1 we are going to use the CSS selector ID. So I want to uniquely style this, so I'm going to give main title here, and inside the main title I'm just going to keep coffee menu house menu house. Okay, so this is what is the first header with the CSS selector ID. And I'm going to write a paragraph. Let me check out what's the, okay, fresh coffee warm moments. So we are going to write like fresh coffee comma warm moments. Okay, now here what do we have here is that, like, I'm just going to give a styling. I'm going to use the CSS selector, that is class, and I'm going to specify let's say tagline. So these are my two CSS selectors that I have used until now. Let me save this, and let's just quickly give the styling to these CSS selectors. So first of all, if you go inside the style part, let's give the styling to this entire page. So for this, the styling given to the entire web page, I'm going to use the universal selector, that is this. And for the entire web page, I want to keep the margin as 0, padding as 0, and I'm just going to keep font family Arial. So this is going to be same throughout my page, like These are set throughout my page. Now we have already learned about what are element selectors. So what is an element? So body is an element, h1 is an element. Okay, so we are going to use the element selectors now. So to the body element, I'm going to give the styling. So let's say the background color. I'm just going to select this beige color, and I want the padding around the content. So padding is nothing but a space around the content. So the space around this text, let's say, okay, is a padding. The space around this text is a padding. So I'm going to give the padding for the entire body. That means the entire web page. So here I'm going to keep the padding as 20 pixel, and it is fine now. Now here for the heading, I just want the h1, that is again a element selector. I want to specifically style the h1, and I want to give the styling to this as text align center. All the content that comes in this should go in the center, and also there should be some space between this heading and the paragraph. So space between two different elements. So when there is a space between two different elements, uh, so then there is a space between two different elements, we have margin bottom, because I want the space only at the bottom, and I'm going to give a 10 pixel of space. So pixel is basically a unit of space that we are adding in web page, in HTML. And here okay, and let me give again a padding here for the paragraph as well. Margin bottom, let's say 8 pixel. Okay, let me just save it and run it. It didn't work. Let me run it again. Okay, this is how it looks like, and I am supposed to keep this okay, this is my heading and it came in the center, and now I have to give the styling to my h1 and the paragraph, okay, using this CSS selectors, that is ID and class. So the ID for this is main title, and the operator that we use here is hash main title, and we are going to write like margin bottom again, like this is uh, specifically for this h1, and this is for the for all the h1s that we are going to use. And here now we are going to give the styling to the tagline. Okay, so for this, for the class, we are going to use the dot selector. So we are going to use like tagline and then open the flower brackets, and here let me just keep text align center, and we have like color. uh, the color for this is the gray shade. So let me just select the gray color, and let me specifically specify the margin bottom, that is the space that comes at the bottom for after the paragraph is 15 pixel. So since I am giving a specific styling for this, this will be reflecting for these two elements. So if I just run it, so it came in the center, and this is what is the space. This is the space between the margin bottom for this is 8 pixel. You can see a space, this is 8 pixel, and you will be able to see a space of 15 pixel. Since we haven't added anything yet, it's not visible to us. Now we have to give the styling to the group selectors. Like I'm going to give the styling to different elements at the same time. So here for creating the different elements, let me create one more section here. Like let me create one more section that's going to have a section tag itself, section, and inside this section let's give the class name as let's give a class name to this section as menu section. So for this menu section we have the h2 tag, and I'm just going to write popular drinks, and I have to create different sections here. Again, this is one section which has espresso, this is other one which is cappuccino, this other one is cold coffee. So I'm going to just write here, let's say div is an element that is used to create a section, and I'm just going to give a class name as let's say item. Okay, so since it's a class name, the class name can be repeated for multiple sections, like it can be same for different sections. So I'm going to use the same class name for this one and this one, because I need the same styling for the espresso and cold coffee, but not for the cappuccino. I'll give a different styling, like I'll give a different class name since I need a different styling here. I just want a light highlighted background for it. Now here in the class, now here the first thing is that I need to write the heading. So I'm using the h3 tag. So I'm writing espresso. Okay, and now what next are you supposed to write here is a paragraph. So here we have strong coffee shot, and then we have to create a button order. Strong coffee shot, and we'll create a button here. So inside the button we are going to write order. Now this is fine, like we have created it. Let me just quickly copy this, okay, and create another section, and I'm going to give, this is item special, because it has, let's say the customer has selected it and it is just getting highlighted here. Okay, so we have here, we have to make the change, make a change here, cappuccino, so, and milk foam coffee. So here I'm going to make a change here, cappuccino, and okay, I need to make a change here as well. Milk foam coffee. And here, okay, so this is going to be the same. And the third one is the cold coffee, chilled coffee. Okay, so I'm just going to make a change here again. Cold coffee, chilled coffee. This is what is the section created. If I just run it, it's a plain section with all the text available, but there is kind of no styling for it. So now let's give the styling for this. So here we have something called as group selectors. So this is what we have learned is that this is universal selector we covered. Universal selector here. I'm just commenting it, 1 second. This is universal selector. This is element. This is element selector. This is also an element selector. This is also an element selector. This is an ID selector. This is a class selector. Okay, now what we have to understand is that group selector. So we have the group selectors here. So inside the group selectors, I'm going to select the section that is the header section, comma, and section. So these are the two sections or two elements I have selected, and I'm going to give the styling to both of them, the same styling. So for both of them, I want a specific width of 80%, let's say. I just want it to cover 80% of the width of the screen. Okay. And let's say the margin to the left and right side should be auto, and it should automatically adjust it, and also on the top and bottom. And margin bottom, okay, between the two elements should be let's say 15 pixels. So this will pick up 15 pixel for bottom, but rest of the margin is going to select the auto. Now if I just run this, okay, so it looks like this. We don't have all the styling done for it. Now what we need to do here is that we also have the h2 header tag. So let's first quickly give the styling to that h2, and let me go here in the element selectors. So once I'm done with the element selector h2, this is again an element selector, element selector. Okay, so inside the h2 we are supposed to keep again margin bottom, let's say 10 pixel I want. Okay, which basically right after this right after this whatever we are writing will give a space of 10 pixel. And what else, we have a like brown color for it. So let me type the text color as, let's say, brown, or maybe a different shade of brown. So maybe this one is better. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Now what we need to do here is that, okay, we have to give the styling to this menu section now. So for the menu section, since it's a class, again I'm going to keep the class selector. So this is again a class selector, and we are going to use the dot operator for the class, and here we have like the class name as menu section. So I'm going to write menu hyphen section, and then I'm supposed to open the curly brackets, and then here inside this I'm going to give the background color as white, and around this menu section there is a space. You can see there is a space, and we'll add the space around the content as padding. So I'm just going to write padding, and I'll give like 15 pixel of space around the content. Like we'll be learning about the box model of HTML in the upcoming video, but right now you understand that this is a space around the content. As you can see, around the content, this is our content, and around the content we have a space. And here, like we have 15 per pixel, I'm just going to put a border of 1 pixel solid brown, but I need to select this color. So I am just going to copy this and put it here. Okay, and also I'm just going to put a border radius. These are curvy borders, so I'm going to make it little curvy by putting border radius 8 pixel. So once this is done, let me just quickly go here and run it. Okay, I got a border, and this is the background color is white for it, and here I have like this. I have to give the styling for the item, for each item here. This again a different section inside it. So I'm going to use the class selector, Again, this is a class selector because I'm using the dot. So I'm using the class that is dot item. So when I'm writing dot item, I'm supposed to give the background color. So there is a background color. Let me give antique white, and let me keep the padding around the content. As you can see, then there is a space around the content of this box, which we are going to again specify for it. That is with 10 pixel of padding around the content of this class and this class. Okay, and here I'm going to again give the border 1 pixel solid, let's say brown. Okay, let me put it like gray here. Please ignore if the colors are not exactly same. And let's keep the margin bottom. So here for the entire item, there's a space in between here. So we want a margin at the bottom, the space that comes at the bottom. The margin bottom is 10 pixel, and the border radius as well. So since it is curvy here, even these boxes are curvy. So we are going to write border radius, border radius 6 pixel. And when we run it, save it and run it. So you can see it's the same thing, and we can give the same styling to item special, item hyphen special here, and just a different color, let's say this one. Yeah, and when we run it, it looks the same. Yeah, and the only thing is that I want to set up the max width for the header, and this looks really big. So let me set up the max width for it as 500 pixel. 500 pixel. Okay, so this is done. So all right, thank you so much for watching. We'll meet in the next video. Bye bye.